Hey there, my name is Trevor Van Kemp and I'm the youth pastor here at New Life Church. If you're watching this video, it must be because you are a parent of a child who is coming into our youth program, or you are a student who is new to our youth program and just wanting more information. Let me tell you, I'm so glad that you've taken the time to be with us today and talk about youth ministry, why we do what we do, and even how we do some things, and some very practical things like what do our services look like, why do we do certain things, and what takes place at these services. Want you to know that me and my wife, we love playing board games. We do, and right now we're in this game called Catan, where it's super strategic as far as like where you put your pieces, and if you put your pieces at a good spot, later on in the game, you'll reap rewards for that. Students, I want you to know that life is kind of like a board game right now, and the choices that you are making today matter for what you will do and who you will become later on in life. That's kind of why I am a youth pastor, why I do what I get to do. Because I believe that we get to make a difference in the lives of students, in the lives of people all over the Bay Area. But I want you to know that I love what I get to do. Our team loves what we get to do. Our leadership loves what we get to do. We love serving students and making a difference in their lives. Parents, I want you to know that we take responsibility for your child very, very seriously. And I hope that through this chat we have today, that you start to get a sense that these people are serious about my child's safety first and foremost, but also about the person that they're becoming relationally, physically, and most importantly, spiritually. We care and we take responsibility for those things. And students, I want you to know that you are loved by your parents or guardian, whoever is watching this with you. But I want you to know that you are now also loved by the Accelerate family. You'll hear that word a lot over the course of this video, and even at our services, we try to push the point that we are a family, and something we say very, very often is that we are better because of you. As a parent, we're better because you are the parent to your child. Students, we are better when you come to our youth program and are in our services and contributing to the environment that we create. We're better when you are there, when you are a part. And so we absolutely love that. Want to start off today with kind of like a why we do what we do. What's the point? Like, what is the importance of youth ministry? Well, we know that now is super important when it comes to our lives, but even more so, spiritually speaking, when it comes to students and young people in general. There was a recent study that said that 75% of people who begin a relationship with Jesus do so by the time they are 20 years old. A huge part of that chunk of time is in youth ministry. I know from my own personal experience, I got serious about God in youth. I had encounters with God in youth. I want what I had growing up for your child and for the children or youth all over the Bay Area. So we do what we do because we understand there is a time window that is very, very important when it comes to a person starting a relationship with Jesus. We also know that this is a huge time of transition. Like, I love the fact that we get to graduate seniors, but then also graduate fifth graders into sixth grade and a part of our youth program. I love it. I love that we get to push people on their journey, and sometimes we have to push those ones out just a little bit harder sometimes. But no, then we get to welcome sixth graders in, and we're so excited that we get to spend the next number of years with your child. It's a time of transition, and it's always good when you have someone who's gone through the transition and is able to help you, partner with you. And parents, I want you to know that that's exactly what we plan on doing. We want to partner with you in raising spiritually, relationally, mentally mature young people. It's a time of transition. It's a time of discovery. We know that when you're in middle school and even into high school, there are some things that you bring on into your mind, into your life that stay with you over the course of your entire life. Man, there are some things that I started in middle school that, man, I'm so glad that I started those things because it has prepared me and created me into the person that I am today. There's also some things that I did and I still do that I'm a little ashamed of, like biting my fingers. For some reason, like that's just something I've never been able to stop. And I haven't really tried, but it's just this habit that I started when I was young and I carried it on till now. The only person that really doesn't like it is my grandma. And so grandma, if you're watching this, I apologize. But like I said, parents, we want you to know that we want to partner with you. When I say partner, I don't mean that we want to do all the work. Can I just say that? Is that okay? As the youth pastor, it's not my job to spiritually totally raise your son or your daughter. No, my job is to come alongside you, and together we can do something way better in the life of your young person than we could do apart. We are a partnership. We do work together, and I believe that we will have some mature students by the time they are 18 years old, walking down with their cap and gown and all of those things, going on to college, military, trade school, whatever they choose to do, because it's coming. It's coming faster than you understand. Students, we also want to partner with you. We want to partner with you in making your faith your faith. I've heard it often said that God has no grandchildren. God only has children. You cannot depend on your parents' relationship with Jesus. No, you need to create your own relationship with Jesus. You need to create your beliefs in God. Create your faith that is strong. Your faith that will be tested and stand strong when those testings come. And we also want you students to have an absolute blast. We love youth ministry, and because we love it, we make it fun. That's one of the big things we focus on. We totally believe that youth should be a time when you have an absolute blast. Youth should be a time when you make memories that you remember forever, and you always be able to look back and say, man, remember that one time in youth group, at summer camp, at winter retreat? Man, that was some of the best times of my life. That's what we want to create at youth ministry. That's why we do so many different activities and we do emotion nights. Like I said, summer camp, winter retreat, all different types of things, because we believe that youth ministry, a huge chunk of it should just be fun. And we're okay with saying that. I said earlier, another thing we say is that we are family. And there's a couple of different layers of this family. We are an Accelerate family. We have 6th graders all the way to 12th graders, and we are all under the same family of Accelerate. But even more so than that, we have a little family called life groups. If you spend any time at New Life Church, you understand that we are a church that is serious about life groups. That's true with kids, that's true with students, that's true with young adults, that's true with the majority of our church. We are a church that is serious about relationships and small groups. And so we make that a huge part of our Accelerate experience. And we'll get into that in just a little bit more. And we're better because of you. Our family is better, is stronger, it is greater because you are now a part. So we're fun. We have fun. We're a family, but we also grow. We know that we don't just come to youth just to have fun. We know that there is a much bigger proponent of this. And that's the fact that we want to become people who are more like Jesus than we were yesterday. We want to be constantly growing, constantly developing. And so we do that through a bunch of different ways. And we'll get into that in just a second. But parents, I want you to know that growth is a process. Trust me, the child that you have in front of you today will not be the same person in 7 years when they're graduating high school. They will be physically, mentally, everything will be different. And that's a good thing. They should grow. They should get bigger, stronger, wiser, smarter, all of those ones. But it's a process. Stick to the process. Don't be discouraged when Johnny doesn't do what you want him to do. Know that it's a process. He's growing. She's getting smarter and growing in all these different kinds of things. So that's kind of like the why we do what we do and some of the hows behind it. But let's get into the more practical ones as to what makes our youth ministry happen, the particulars and what we have to offer. First thing we do is we offer a Sunday morning experience for all middle school students. That's 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. And that program is called Roots. In Roots, we have 2 Roots rooms at both of our campus. And if you need help finding those this upcoming Sunday, or the first chance we get to meet, know that you can ask any team member and they will be able to point you in the direction of Roots. And so the first time there, you can expect to fill out a first time guest form where it'll be a one-time thing, and you will be a part of our service, a part of our experience. And so what we do is we focus primarily all of our gatherings around relationships. And this is probably even more so in our roots setting. We know that with middle schoolers come different opportunities. And so we lean heavily into the relational aspect. We try to create fun, we try to create energy all around relationships. So you can expect when you get dropped off to open up the service playing cards, playing a board game with some friends, doing something totally random, and then we'll jump into worship with the adults, and then we'll move into another time where we do an organized kind of game or activity, and then go into a video teaching where we will break off into our small groups. And that is where our real church, you could say, that really happens, where life group leaders who are adults lead and direct conversation. And what I love about the curriculum that we primarily use in Roots is it's all based around fundamental questions of faith. Things about creation, things about who is God, things about what is the Bible, the Holy Spirit, what does the church look like, what is the church's response to this or that. And so it's all about questions and how we can bring questions and find more faith in the midst of questions that we might have, which I think is super, super important for middle schoolers to understand that questions are okay. In fact, some of you are like, Trevor, my kid has a whole lot of questions, so please answer as many questions as you can. But that is our Roots experience. And parents, I want you to know about the Roots. We want your student to be grounded in biblical truth. Know that there's a whole lot of truth floating around in the world, people's opinions getting mixed with truth, but we base our programs around the Word of God because that is the truth that cannot be shaken. That is the truth that it should be the foundation for everything we do, not only in church, but in our individual lives. And so we want students to have a grounding in biblical knowledge and in biblical truth. And students want you to know that we want you to make faith your own. Kind of talked about it earlier, but you need to have your own relationship with Jesus, and Roots is an awesome, awesome way for you to do that. If I could just be honest, one of my favorite things about Roots is every first week of the month, we have Donut Day. Only for the reason because we think that it provides an extra level of our atmosphere where students are able to chow down on a maple bar or chow down on a chocolate glazed and just have conversation with their peers, with life group leaders, and it is just a fun time. So don't miss out the first week of every month for our donut days at Roots. It's awesome. You're gonna love it. But our second option that we have for our Accelerate services is our main midweek service. So we have two options for you, depending on what campus you go to, either Dublin on Tuesday at 7 o'clock or Wednesday in Alamo at our 7 o'clock. And so those are our two offerings for our midweek service, and just kind of giving you a breakdown of what these look like. We gather with 6th graders all the way to 12th graders for our main Accelerate service. And I get a lot of questions as to, Trevor, do you think that's good? Is that beneficial? Why do you do that? Well, I want you to know right off the bat that the amount of interactions between middle schoolers and high schoolers at our services is very minimal. They don't really mix and conversate or anything like that, but they do hang out in the same proximity. Let me tell you why that can be a good thing. I know in my own life, I remember one instance in particular, going to youth group where I was the young kid. I was the middle schooler with a bunch of high schoolers, being afraid, being nervous, being excited, all of these different things for being at youth group for the first time. I want to tell you that nothing allowed me to experience and engage more than watching older kids and how they worshiped God. Specifically, my own sister. I saw my sister, who's 4 years older than me, worshiping God. And for whatever reason, it just allowed me to open up and worship God on my own. Now, trust me, I had seen my parents worship. I had seen other people worship at a big church service, but to see it happen in youth, to see older kids chase after God, it did something for my own spiritual development. And I believe the same thing can be done for your child. So yes, we meet middle school and we meet high school. something that we do and we encourage is for our students to show up early. So talking about 6:45, 6:50, somewhere around there, for our students to engage in those relationships that we stated earlier. They're so important. We like to hang out. We like to have fun through our check-in process. All of these things. So our check-in process really just looks like you walking onto our campus, walking into our building where someone will be ready and willing and happy to check you in, where they will give you a name tag. You'll wear that name tag like a badge of honor, and it will be awesome. Parents, you don't really need to walk your student into youth, because after the first week, they will have it down. They will be pros, and it will be even better for them if you just say, peace out, see you later, see you at 8:30, I'll pick you up then. So that's kind of what the check-in process looks like. And so we show up early, service starts with some worship. We'll sing a couple of songs, we'll engage in that sort of way, and we have live music and a live band that is primarily student driven, and we have a fantastic time of that. We have extremely talented students, and if your child wants to be a part of our band, we would love to have them. It would be an awesome experience, I believe, for them, and like I said, you would make us better. Then we finish our service time with a message that's usually about 20 minutes, and we do it in a series format, just like big service or adult service, whatever you want to call it. They operate in series. We operate in series. And so coming up, we have a series that we are super excited for your child to be a part of. And usually they go from month to month. And so that is because at every single beginning of every month, first Tuesday, first Wednesday of every month, we have what we call a dinner night. And that is a chance for students to onboard into a new series, into the small group. And it'll just be, dinner nights are one of the best attended, best energy, because there is a whole meal, because we have an awesome team that prepares an awesome meal. And so, thanks to our team who does that. But yeah, dinner night, first Tuesday, Wednesday of every month. Don't miss out on that. You're definitely going to want to be a part of that. And then finishing out our service, we have life group time. Just like in Roots, just like every other part of our church, we are serious about life groups. We believe that as a youth ministry, the best ministry happens in the life group. When students are able to open up with other students or their leaders and engage with what the message was about, man, that is when we are able to take a message, apply it to our lives, and then apply it in our actions. So you might ask, Trevor, who is this adult leader who is going to be leading my child? That's a fantastic question. I want you to know that we actually have a leadership process. And I'm going to be real honest with you, it's very rigorous. It's quite intense, and our hope is that if you are not serious about leading, you will not want to go through the process. It's a very easy way to weed out people who we don't even want leading students. And so we have background checks, we have references, we have interviews, we have an application process, quite the process to make sure that your student has the best quality leader leading them. Go through code of conducts. We go through, like I said all before, a process to make sure that our students are best cared for. Touched on dinner night just a little bit earlier, but I also want to touch on something that we call theme night. And our goal is that would be probably every third week of the month. And really, theme night is just a chance to break up the monotony of things sometimes and just do something fun. So in the past, we've had like Christmas theme. We've had twin theme. We had all different kinds of things, and we will have that readily available and known to our students. And it's just like a dress-up opportunity that our students love participating in, and it's a lot of fun. So be a part of dinner night, be a part of theme night. Two big things that we do are our retreats and our camps. We are known for going to the best summer camp that there is available to students. I want you to know that we don't go and looking for the cheapest summer camp. No, we go looking for the best summer camp. And Hume Lake every June is that opportunity for us. So I would right now make sure that next June, the first couple of weeks of June, you make sure you do not schedule your summer vacation for that. Because I believe that Hume Lake will be better for your students than summer vacation would be. I'm not saying don't go on summer vacation. I'm just saying make sure that week is available for your student, because I believe so many good things happen at summer camp. Also, winter retreat. We make our own winter retreats happen, and winter retreat is always over the MLK weekend. And so it's a 3-day weekend, 3 days, 2 nights. We leave on a Saturday and come back on a Monday. And let me tell you, that is an absolute blast. And we love doing those events. We believe that so many good things come from when students leave, get out of their normal, out of their ordinary, and are given a chance to encounter God in a powerful and real way that changes the trajectory of their life. I know that I am the man who I am today because of experiences that I had in summer camp, because of experiences that I had at winter retreat. And I'm so thankful for those, and I want those to be opportunities for your child as well. I do have an ask for you as a parent. My ask is simply that you don't use youth as a punishment. And what am I saying is there are times when parents are disciplining their children, and your children need it. Children need discipline, but please don't use youth ministry as a thing that you keep from your student as a form of discipline. Simply because I believe that whatever discipline might have been had because of whatever the thing was, I believe that discipline could happen at youth ministry. Like whatever is being taught at youth ministry might actually help and speak into that situation that you're dealing with your child. Students, you can help out with this by just not getting into trouble. How's that? That sounds really good. But I want to close with one thing, and at the expense of beating a dead horse, I just want to again talk how important relationships are to Accelerate. Man, we believe that first and foremost, we want students to have strong relationships with God. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, then all other relationships don't really matter. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus, you will not be able to be as good of a son or as good as a daughter as you can possibly be. So we push and we promote that relationship with Jesus to the utmost degree. Also, we have a relationship with life group leaders. Man, some of my most favorite thing to do is going to a student's activity, not as the youth pastor, but as the life group leader. Man, I love going to football games of my students. I love going to basketball games or dance recitals of our students because I believe that parents, you kind of have to go to those things. I mean, you don't have to, but that's a good opportunity for you to go. But seeing a life group leader go to a student's event, man, I think that changes a student's perspective of someone else outside of your family who has a relationship with Jesus. Man, it helps them so much. And then the last group is with their peers. Students are so relational. They want to be known and be known by their fellow peers. And youth is a great place to do that. Now, Trevor, are all your students perfect at Accelerate? No. They're not. No, they really aren't. But I do believe that the quality of students that we have at Accelerate is some of the best that I have ever seen. And so I'm so grateful and thankful to get to know your student over the next couple of months and weeks and years. I'm so excited that I get to serve your family in this newest capacity. If there is anything I can ever do for you, anything I can ever do for your family, remember, this is a partnership. I want to be there for you when things are good, when things are bad. And just know how grateful and thankful we are for this opportunity to serve your student. If you ever have any questions about anything that I have gone over today or anything that comes up in youth ministry in general, feel free to email me. My email is tvankempen, that's VANKEMPEN @newlifeinfo.com. Would love to answer any questions you might have. That's all I have for you today. So I hope to see your student at our services real soon. Let me pray real quick. God, you're awesome. You're amazing. God, I thank you for every single parent, every single student who is listening to this. God, I pray that you would give them wisdom. God, that you would give them clarity. God, help them in the things that they are going through now. God, I pray that you would help us over these next couple of months and years. God, would we take students who are 6th graders or 7th graders or however old they are, and God, help us to disciple those young people so they can be mature adults. Christian men and Christian women. God, we're so thankful and appreciative for you, everything you're doing in our lives. Thankful for Accelerate, for New Life Church, and the difference that we make in this community. God, I love you and praise you. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, God bless you guys. Hope to see you real soon. Bye-bye.